Before you do anything to prep your home for sale, you need a transition plan. Most stress in the selling process comes from not having this part figured out first. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 questions to ask yourself before you move and 2 conversations around each question. I'll show you how to map out the whole move before we touch paint, repairs, or pricing. Here's how to get clear on your transition plan. The first question to ask yourself is, where am I going next? Are you going to buy another home locally, maybe rent a place, or move to a whole new area? Or are you like most people I talk to and you're completely undecided about what happens next? It's really important to know the answer to this, because if you don't, you could really end up regretting your move. A lot of sellers I talk to have a desire to sell the house, but they don't know what happens next. They know they can make a ton of money, but if they sell, is it really worth sacrificing the lifestyle they currently have? That answer could be yes, but you have to know it's a yes before deciding on selling the home and the lifestyle you currently have. The first conversation around where you're headed is all about finances. If you're selling a house in a really expensive market and buying in a cheap market, what are you going to do with the rest of the money? On the flip side, if you're selling in a really inexpensive market and you're moving to the coast, how are you actually going to put the deal together? I always advise meeting with a financial advisor or a financial planner to walk through all these scenarios and really dial in your finances for the next move. The next conversation around our first question is lifestyle. It may seem really attractive to sell your house, but are you actually going to enjoy living an hour away from the golf course you spend 3 days a week at? Where are the medical facilities located relative to your new house? Are you used to them being 5 minutes away and now they're 45 minutes away? And what hobbies and activities do you really enjoy that you're going to be forfeiting at the next place? These are important questions to ask because there is a ton of value in lifestyle. And even if the numbers look good on paper, we're talking about your home and your lifestyle, so it has to make practical sense too. And if we think about this ahead of time, we can find a location and a situation that can actually improve your lifestyle instead of subtracting from it. The second question to ask yourself is, what is my ideal timing for this move? Are you talking about doing this in the next month, 6 months, or maybe next year? Knowing the answer to this question provides a ton of guidance around how much you should prepare the house, how to price it, and who to sell it to. The first conversation around timing is all about home improvements. If you have a ton of lead time, meaning you have maybe a year until you move, you can start to tackle some of the really large and maybe really profitable projects around the house. And if you have to get the house listed next week, you might need to reach out to some contractors or a handyman to get the house ready to be listed. Because if a seller has more lead time, it's really wise to take advantage of it. It's really common for me to have sellers reach out about a month or 2 before they want to list their house. But it's way easier to have the house completely dialed in and ready to sell if we have that conversation 6 months or a year prior to listing. More often than not, the sellers with the most lead time make the most money from their sale. The profit is really in the preparation, and that's why we've created the Prep for Profit quiz. If you want to spend your lead time wisely and invest in the right projects, take the free quiz by following the link below. It's going to tell you everything you need to know to get the house ready to put on the market. The next timing conversation is around who you intend on buying your house. I made a whole video around this on my YouTube channel. And the simplest way to having this conversation is discussing the price versus convenience factor. If you need to sell quickly, then selling for convenience might be the way to go. That means selling to an investor or an iBuyer. But if you're looking to sell for maximum profit, that means your end buyer is likely going to be someone looking to live in your home. If that's the case, then you want to have your home in a condition that is so attractive that buyers are willing to pay top dollar for it. The third question to ask yourself is, what are my non-negotiables? And what am I really willing to go through to sell the house? You have to know what your expectations are going to be from the sale, and you have to have the conversation around how much disruption your household can realistically handle. Selling a home, especially for top dollar, requires some level of inconvenience, but every family has a different threshold. If you work from home, if you have pets, or maybe small children that take naps on schedules or a really structured daily routine, showings during the day might feel impossible. On the other hand, if you can be out of the house all the time and you don't mind the traffic, you'll have more flexibility to court the widest range of buyers. Being honest about your capacity here is going to prevent a ton of frustration later. If you can't tolerate constant showings, maybe we front load prep work, move you out first, or choose a sale route that trades a little profit for a lot more convenience. This isn't about being tough, it's about being realistic so we can tailor your strategy around your life, not against it. The second conversation around non-negotiables goes right back to finances again. Since we now have a plan with our finances after meeting with the financial advisor and figuring out what we can afford, we have to determine what becomes non-negotiable from a financial perspective. How much house do I absolutely need in order to make my move worth it? And how much money can I afford to invest in this house? You have to figure out how much money you're willing to sacrifice in the name of convenience. These are all factors that play a deciding role in the sale of your house. All right, that's the foundation. The 3 questions and 6 conversations that will set you up for a smooth, confident move. And if you found this helpful, hit the like button so more homeowners can see it. And if you have a question about your own timeline or transition plan, drop it in the comments. I respond to every single one. And of course, subscribe if you want more videos on preparing your home, maximizing your sale price, and making smart real estate decisions.